What's going on, guys? Beastly Gamer here. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to ask you guys a question. What do you think about when you hear the word Nintendo? Now, a lot of people, especially younger people, would probably think about failing video game company, one of the worst consoles of this generation. And in that sense of the word, I think you'd probably be right. Nintendo, the Wii U has been kind of a failure, a dismal disappointment for especially hardcore Nintendo fans. But when it comes to the people who are a little bit older like myself, who were there during the inception of Nintendo, we think of Nintendo kind of as an innovator. Throughout the last 30 years, Nintendo has really pushed the envelope in video game innovation. They were the first video game company to have a controller with an analog stick, which was the Nintendo 64 controller. As you guys can see, it's pretty much a staple now in the video game world. PlayStation has it, Xbox has it. I'm pretty sure anybody else who comes out with a video game system is going to have their own iteration of the analog control nub. They also innovated with the Rumble Pack, and that's something that we also see that everybody kind of adapted as their own and made their own in the video gaming world. Now, rumble vibrations in your controller are pretty much a staple, and Nintendo was the very first company to actually do that. They also innovated in the area of motion controls. The Nintendo Wii, for its time, was really state-of-the-art and ahead of its time. That's why it sold so many units. No one was able to play a game and actually play it to the degree that you were playing on the Nintendo Wii at that time. Playing tennis and bowling, it was extremely fun because it was something no one had ever done before. And we see that Microsoft and Sony actually tried their hand at that. Whether or not they were successful or not, I think it's pretty evident that they weren't. You know, with the Kinect 2.0, both failed. PlayStation Move was a dismal disaster. But like I said, Nintendo is really known for pushing the envelope. And I think that that's something that they're not going to change. I think that they're going to continue to go the opposite direction of their competitors and create a whole new... They want to create their own lane and stay in their lane. That's what they've been doing for a long time. And if these rumors about Nintendo's next console are actually true, it sounds like they're going to be doing the same thing again. I will drop a link in the description. Nintendo NX will allegedly work with PlayStation 4 and smartphones, according to a report. While we don't expect to learn anything official regarding Nintendo's new home console, codenamed NX, until E3, a flurry of rumors have emerged online today that suggest the hardware may, quote, work with smartphones, PCs, and even rival consoles such as the PlayStation 4, end quote. Speculation began to run rampant following a tweet by Wall Street Journal's Takashi Machizuki, echoing David Gibson's claim that the Big N's upcoming console handheld hybrid could boast some form of integration with other third-party devices. Adding fuel to the fire was a marketing survey posted by research company GfK, which appears to detail some pertinent information relating to the Nintendo NX and its purported features, from 4K streaming to 60 frames per second support. The alleged info dump teases the way in which the gameplay will, quote, flow between Nintendo NX console and its handheld device, end quote. The jury is still out on what exactly Nintendo is cooking up for its spiritual successor to the Wii U, gunning to create, quote, a new experience, end quote, that is unlike anything the company has designed before. There's plenty of possible avenues Nintendo NX could take, and we'll surely find out some tangible details by E3 2016. Guys, that sounds very, very interesting. 4K streaming, that's breaking new ground, and 60 frames per second gameplay. That is something that we're not seeing very much of this generation. Most games that run 60 frames, in my opinion, are games that have been made as an exclusive for a console or games that have been remastered from the last generation. A lot of the games that we're seeing now, I'm telling you now, games like Horizon Zero Dawn are not going to run 60 frames. We saw games that looked incredible like The Order 1886. Of course, those games are not going to run 60 frames because they've been optimized graphically for the current hardware. So if Nintendo is planning on making games for their current hardware and they're all supposed to run at 60 frames, I'm starting to think this Nintendo NX is going to be awesome. If this thing is somehow compatible with the PlayStation 4, on what level could it possibly work? I mean, do you really want to work with your competitor? Is it a smart thing to do? It might be the smartest thing Nintendo's ever done. PlayStation 4 is a behemoth right now, selling like hotcakes. If they can somehow integrate it in a meaningful way with the PlayStation 4, as long as Sony agrees to that. Sony would have to agree to make their PlayStation 4 work with the Nintendo NX, unless it was kind of a plug-and-play option where you could play the PlayStation through the NX, kind of like you can with the Xbox One. I guess time will tell, but it's really interesting to hear what Nintendo's planning on doing, and plus knowing Nintendo's background, the history of the company, they could really have some fire starting right now, and they could possibly pull in some of their old fans and make Nintendo great again. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Does this sound too good to be true that the Nintendo NX will still work with Android, tablets, iOS, and possibly PlayStation 4 and Xbox? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to give a thumbs up, show support for the channel, and definitely subscribe. I'm the Beastly Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.
Let it go, make my body go, take our bodies high.